Hello, Robin.
Hello, Marshall. How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. I couldn't be happier to speak with you.
I wanted to touch base with you about Web 2.0 and how it relates to these things called mashups. Now, imagine you have an audience in front of you of business people coming from new media, but also very much from traditional media. So probably for many of the people watching this, it would be great if you could give us your own take on what should I picture in my head when I think of a mashup.
Well, I think that mashups are one part of a larger trend in Web 2.0 around portability of data. There's many different technologies and uses of those technologies now that emphasize the ability to take data from one source and use it in another program or another website or in another context. And mashups are some of the most visible examples of those, of data being taken from one source and being used elsewhere in another program, in another application, on another website, most commonly for purposes of visualization, but not exclusively. People know most commonly about maps mashups, where databases are visualized with a mapping program, where data from one place is mashed up with a map application. But really, I think that any situation where data from one source or one application or program is combined with another could constitute a mashup. Oftentimes they're thought of as highly technical, and there certainly are a lot of technical questions that are being debated right now in the mashup world around how to best expose your data, how to deal with data that other people have exposed, etc. But I think that for end users, there's a certain ethic of mashups as well, a certain approach that can be gleaned, an attitude whereby even end users with limited technical knowledge can mash up multiple programs or web applications that are made available to them to gain a new sense of usefulness that individual applications might not offer on their own.
Are there opportunities created by these mashups also for the bigger organizations and companies that want to play in these new fields?
Oh, I think for sure. Yeah, I don't think it makes a difference really whether an organization is large or small. There's opportunities to make use of mashups in any kind of situation. It might be handled differently in a large or small organization relative to the size of the data that you have to offer, or your decision-making infrastructure around how you offer that data to the world, or how you relate to data that you bring in from elsewhere. A small organization, for example, may be willing to use mashups that are less strongly branded on their part than a larger organization might be willing to do. But it's really just a matter of implementation.
So if you had a group of traditional media businessmen and executives, would you advise them to seriously look into mashups as an opportunity for new business or not?
Oh, I think that many of them already are. I think that the time of siloed content on the web and captive audiences was a fleeting illusion largely, and that more and more people are aware of that, and that in the end and shortly, consumers will demand the ability to have data and tools mixed and matched wherever they go on the internet, and that the sites and the companies that offer richer experiences through integration of multiple data sources and multiple tools will shortly stand well and above and beyond those organizations that try to be the entire universe for their site visitors, pretending that only their information and only their tools are needed for a full and rich experience.
Does this apply also to telcos and cable companies and all those that are trying now to play a bigger role with the online internet television new formats that are coming up? Do they have a word to say in that respect or not?
I think that if you look at British Telecom in particular, they're interested in making media mashup tools available to their consumers. That's an interesting test case. But beyond that, yeah, I think that some of the early visions of web portals that some service providers had in the first round of the web may be much more viable and sophisticated and useful today, now that we have a better understanding of content syndication and personalization, AJAX and web usability, and things like that. And so I think that big organizations that really do want to bring the web as a whole to their customers will likely find that mashups are just a state-of-the-art matter of fact in only a matter of time. This is Marshall Kirkpatrick. I write for Techcrunch.com, where we review brand new web applications every day, mashups and a whole lot more. Come and check it out when you check out Robin Good's Master New Media.
Perfect.